Have you ever let one person ruin your whole day with a single comment and then watched yourself do it again the next time and the time after that? No matter how many times you swore you wouldn't give them that power again? Everyone has. There's a face in your head right now, and the part no one tells you about that person is this: they aren't the one ruining your day. They say the thing, and then you do something with it. You react, and that reaction, that flinch, that flash of heat, is the exact moment you hand them control of you. They didn't take your day, you gave it to them, in the half second after they spoke, the way you've given it away 1,000 times before. Machiavelli watched men do this to each other in every court he ever served. He watched powerful men get baited, needled, insulted into a reaction, and the moment they reacted, they were finished, because a man who can be provoked is a man who can be steered. Whoever can make you angry, anxious, or defensive owns the controls. And he understood the thing almost no one understands even now. The people who get to you are not really after your feelings. They're after what your feelings hand them. Your reaction tells them the button works. It hands them your mood to play with. It gives them the story where you're the problem. Every upset you've ever had was a small transfer of power, from you to them. So this is not about calming down, or breathing, or being the bigger person. Those are losing games. The feeling is already there, and you're just sitting on it while everyone watches you strain. This is about something colder and more useful. The people who get under your skin are running plays on you. There's a playbook, and most of them don't even know they're using it, they just know it works. I'm going to walk you through the whole playbook, one move at a time. You'll recognize every single one, and for each move, I'll show you exactly what your reaction hands them, and exactly what to do instead, so the move comes back empty. There's one move underneath all of them, the last one. And once it's yours, the entire playbook stops working, not just for one person, but for anyone. But you have to see the plays first, because the last one won't make sense until you do. One thing before we start: none of this is about deciding everyone is out to get you, or walking around suspicious of the people you love. Most people running these plays aren't villains, they're just used to you paying out. This is about seeing the strings the moment someone reaches for them, so they stop being able to pull you. There's nothing paranoid about that, it's just what it feels like to stop being easy for anyone to move. So let's start with the move that gets run on almost everyone. Almost every day, the one you probably ate this week without ever calling it what it was. The first play is the deniable hit. Someone says the cutting thing, but they wrap it in a joke or in honesty, so it can't be pinned on them. No offense, but... and then the offense. I'm just being real with you. Relax, it's a joke, why are you so sensitive? They land the hit and preload the excuse in the same breath, so that if you react, the problem becomes your reaction, not their insult. You think you're deciding whether to let it go. But notice what they actually just did. They took a free shot at you and arranged it so you can't shoot back without looking like the unreasonable one. Think about the last time someone said something that stung and then laughed. I'm only kidding. You felt the hit land. And then you felt a second thing, almost worse, the trap of it. The fact that if you said, "that hurt," they'd roll their eyes and say, "you can't take a joke." So you laughed along. You swallowed it. Watch what that laugh costs you. The moment you laugh it off, two things happen. They learn the hit landed, they watched your face do the thing it did before you covered it, so now they know exactly where you're soft. And they learn they can say anything to you and pay nothing for it. Which means next time the joke goes a little further. There's someone in your life doing this on a schedule, a coworker, an in-law, a so-called friend, lowering you a quarter inch in front of other people every time you're together, and you keep letting it ride because objecting feels petty. That person isn't joking. They're filing down your standing one laugh at a time, and they're doing it because it's free. So stop making it free. The next time the deniable hit comes, you don't laugh and you don't get hot. You hold the eye contact, you let the silence sit for one beat too long, and you make them own it. Say the part you actually mean, or you simply refuse the disguise. That sounded like it was meant to sting, was it? And then you wait. Calm, flat, genuinely unbothered. Now they have to either admit the cruelty out loud, with no joke to hide behind, or back all the way down. Either way, the free shot is gone, and everyone watching just saw you not flinch. Machiavelli understood that a wound, dressed up as a jest, is still a wound, and that the man who calmly makes the joker explain himself wins the room the joker was trying to win. That play hides the attack inside a laugh. The next one is darker. Because it doesn't want you to laugh, it wants you to explode. What is it? The second play is the setup. This is the one where someone needles you, calmly, patiently, poking at the same sore spot over and over, and stays perfectly composed while they do it. They're not trying to win the argument. They're waiting. Because the second you finally snap, they step back, blink, and say it. Wow, calm down. See, this is exactly what I'm talking about with you. You're being kind of crazy right now. Your reaction was never a side effect. It was the entire goal. They were building evidence, and you just signed it. You know this one. There was a time someone pushed and pushed until you raised your voice, and the instant you did, the whole thing flipped. Suddenly, the conversation wasn't about what they did. It was about how you reacted. You walked away as the bad guy, replaying it, knowing you'd been steered into it and unable to prove it. What your reaction hands them here is bigger than a flinch. It hands them the story. Now you're the unstable one, the aggressive one, the one who can't keep it together, and everyone who saw the explosion but not the hour of needling behind it believes them. It hands them cover for whatever they did first, because now the room is busy talking about you. The person who runs this on you, and there's usually one specific person, a partner, a sibling, a parent, provokes you in private and performs the victim in public. And the people around you have slowly come to believe that you're the difficult one. That belief is costing you, right now, in how those people treat you. There's a hard piece of psychology underneath why this works, and why the fix works. Behavior runs on reward. When a behavior stops getting its reward, it doesn't just fade quietly, it spikes first. Psychologists call it an extinction burst. Stop reacting, and for a little while the provocation gets louder, more desperate, because they're hammering the button that always used to pay out. If you hold through that spike and still give nothing, the behavior dies, because you've cut off the only thing feeding it. Most people cave during the spike and teach the provoker that they just have to push harder. The ones who hold win permanently. So when you feel the needling, you name it, flat and quiet, and then you stop. You're working pretty hard to get a reaction out of me, and then nothing. No heat, no defense, no taking the bait one more time. You've told them you see the play, and you've denied them the evidence in the same move. Give your enemy the reaction he's digging for, Machiavelli saw, and you hand him the script he's performing, refuse it, and he's left acting out a scene to an empty room. The first two plays are loud, the third one is quiet, so small each time that you'll talk yourself out of noticing it, which is exactly why it's been working on you for years. The third play is the probe. This one is a test, run in tiny pieces. The small slight, the arriving 15 minutes late, every time, with a shrug, the talking over you mid-sentence. The little dismissive tone, the anyway, the eye flick to their phone while you speak. None of it is big enough to call out without feeling ridiculous. And that's the point, each one is a measurement. They're finding out, inch by inch, how much they can take from you before you do anything about it. Recall someone who started small with you and somehow ended up walking all over you, and how you could never point to the exact moment it tipped. There wasn't one. It was 100 tiny probes, each one a little bigger, each one met with nothing, until disrespect was just the normal shape of how they treated you. The cost of the probe is sneaky, because both of your possible reactions feed it. If you get visibly irritated at something that small, you've shown them the button and handed them the, wow, overreacting much? Win. If you swallow it, which is what you usually do, because it's so minor, you've told them the boundary is further out than they thought, so the next probe goes further, and it compounds. The person who got away with arriving 10 minutes late starts arriving 20. The one who talked over you once now does it in front of clients. The little jokes, once tolerated, become the way they introduce you to other people. None of it happened in a single moment you could have objected to. It happened in 100 small ones you let pass, until the disrespect was baked in and load-bearing. The colleague who interrupts you in meetings, the friend who's always late, the person who makes the little jokes at your expense, each got there through probes you let pass, and each is now operating with a freedom you granted by accident, one shrug at a time. The counter to the probe is not a feeling, it's a cost, delivered without heat. They show up late again, you don't fume, and you don't pretend it's fine, you just don't reward it. I've got to keep this to the time we set. So let's pick it up next time, and you end it, calmly, on schedule. They talk over you, you stop talking, you let the silence land, and you don't continue until they notice. You make the small disrespect quietly expensive instead of emotionally satisfying. Men take precisely as much as they're allowed to take, Machiavelli knew. Whatever you tolerate once, you've licensed forever. The next play doesn't push at you at all. It does the opposite. It goes cold and lets your own discomfort do the work. What is it? The fourth play is the freeze out. Someone goes quiet on you, distant, clipped, one-word answers. The wounded silence, the sudden chill, the sense that something's wrong and they won't say what. And it works on you immediately, because the not knowing is unbearable, so you start chasing. You ask what's wrong. You apologize, often for things you didn't do. You over-explain, you soften, you give ground, all to thaw them out and get the warmth back. You think you're repairing the relationship. You're paying a ransom. You've felt this. Someone you cared about went cold, and within a day you were the one apologizing, the one reaching, the one giving in on something you were actually right about just to make the silence stop. And the moment you did, the warmth came back, like a reward, which is exactly what it was. What you're chasing hands them is a remote control. They've learned that a day of coldness gets them an apology they didn't earn and a concession they couldn't have won in a fair conversation. So the freeze-out becomes their go-to, because it's clean and it always pays. The person who does this to you, and you know who it is, doesn't have to argue, doesn't have to make a case. They just withdraw and wait for your discomfort to hand them the win. So you stop paying the ransom. When the cold comes, you match the distance instead of fighting it, and you do it without a trace of anxiety. Let me know when you want to talk about it, and then you go live your day. Genuinely fine, not performing fine, actually fine. You don't chase, you don't grovel, you don't fill the silence with apologies. The freeze-out only works if the silence costs you more than it costs them. The moment you can sit in it comfortably, the weapon turns to dust in their hand. Whoever can outlast the silence, Machiavelli understood, dictates the terms of the peace. So that's 4 plays you can now see coming. And notice the thing they all have in common, the thing that should be getting clearer with each one. None of them can do anything to you without your reaction. The hit needs your flinch. The setup needs your snap. The probe needs your irritation or your silence. The freeze-out needs your chase. Take away what you hand them, and the play is just a person making noise. Quick before the last plays, picture the one person who gets to you more than anyone. Hold their face. Now figure out which of these 4 they run on you. The deniable hit, the setup, the probe, or the freeze-out. It's one of them, mostly. Maybe always the same one. That's the play you've been paying out on for years. Let me show you a man who had every reason on earth to react and refused to. Florence, 1478. The Pazzi family and their allies launched a plot to destroy the Medici, and they did it in the cathedral during Mass. Assassins fell on Lorenzo de' Medici and his younger brother Giuliano at the altar. Giuliano was stabbed 19 times and died on the cathedral floor beside him. Lorenzo, wounded in the neck, could have come apart grief, rage, blind revenge, exactly the chaos the plot was designed to trigger. The whole point was to provoke the Medici into a reaction that would finish them. Instead, Lorenzo got himself to safety, kept his head, and over the days that followed, responded with cold, deliberate, measured control, securing the city, turning the people toward him, dismantling his enemies with calculation instead of fury. They built the entire attack to make him react his way into ruin. He denied them the broken man they needed and came out of it more powerful than before. Which brings us to the 5th play, and this one doesn't attack you, it looks down on you, and you climb after it every single time. The 5th play is the flex. This is the condescension, the brag, the subtle talk down. Well, when I was your age. That's cute that you think that. The humble brag, the name drop, the little correction that wasn't necessary except to remind you who's ahead. They're not insulting you outright. They're climbing onto a ladder and putting themselves a rung above you, and waiting to see if you'll climb up after them, competing, justifying, listing your own credentials, trying to prove you belong. The bait is your need to be seen as their equal. Think about the last time someone subtly talked down to you, and you felt that hot little urge to set them straight, to mention your own achievement, to win the exchange. That urge is the hook, and reaching for it is the whole trap. Because the instant you compete, you've lost, you've agreed to the ladder, agreed they're the judge, agreed that their opinion of your worth is a thing you need to correct. Even if you win the exchange, You've confirmed you cared about ranking against them, which is the rank they wanted you in. The relative who keeps you a little beneath them, the senior colleague who makes you audition every time you talk, they hold their position over you precisely because you keep accepting the contest, and so you keep functioning as someone slightly below them, which shapes how they treat you and how much they give you. The counter is to refuse the latter entirely. They flex, and you give them a flat, genuine, completely unbothered, good for you. And then you don't change a thing about how you're sitting, what you're saying, or how you feel. No competing, no proving, no shrinking either. You simply decline to be measured. You cannot lose a game you won't agree to play, and the person who needs to show you they're above you has already told you they're not sure they are. The next play is the most dangerous of all the ordinary ones, because this time they bring witnesses. The sixth play is the audience play. This is the dig timed for a crowd. The person who's perfectly civil to you one-on-one, then waits until there are other people, the meeting, the dinner table, the group chat, and lands the little humiliation there, where it's witnessed. Because in front of an audience, your reaction is worth so much more to them. If you blow up, you look unhinged in front of everyone. If you shrink and take it, you look weak in front of everyone. They've built a trap where both exits cost you, and they've invited people to watch you walk into it. You've sat at that table. Someone made the joke about you in front of the group, and you felt every eye flick to you, waiting, and whichever way you went, laughing it off, snapping back. Going quiet felt like a loss, because it was rigged to be. What your reaction hands them here is a public win, and a story the room will retell later. That's the real prize, not the dig itself, but the audience's memory of how you handled it. The person who only ever needles you when there's a crowd knows exactly what they're doing. The audience is the weapon, and your reaction is what loads it. So you take the air out of it, calmly, and you play to the room instead of to them, light, unbothered, almost amused. You've really been waiting to say that one, haven't you? And then you move on like it was nothing, because to you, it genuinely was. You don't fight it, you don't defend, you don't escalate. The room watches the dig land on a wall and slide off. And the only thing anyone remembers is that they reached for you and missed. An attack performed for a crowd, Machiavelli saw. Lives or dies on your face, give it nothing, and the crowd remembers only the reaching. And now you're ready for the last one, the move underneath all six, and you'll see that it isn't a seventh play at all. The seventh, the master, is to starve the play. Look back at the whole playbook and watch it collapse into one thing. The deniable hit was fishing for your flinch. The setup was fishing for your outburst. The probe was fishing for your irritation. The freeze-out was fishing for your chase. The flex was fishing for your need to prove yourself. The audience play was fishing for your face in front of a crowd. 6 different hooks, and every one of them was baited with the exact same thing. Your reaction. That's the only fish in this entire pond. That's the only thing any of them ever actually wanted. And this is the reason a person who has learned this cannot be touched by anyone. The thing this whole video has been walking toward. Control over a human being runs entirely through their reactions. There is no other channel. You can only steer a person by what you can provoke in them, their anger, their fear, their guilt, their need for your approval. So a person who has learned to give nothing back has quietly cut the one wire that all control travels down. Every play in the playbook reaches them and comes back holding nothing. They run the move that has worked on everyone they've ever met, and it lands on a wall, and you can watch the exact moment it happens, the reach, and then the second reach, harder this time, and then the slow, unsettling realization that there's nothing on the other end of the line. And here is the part that makes this work against everyone, not just the people running plays on purpose. Most of the people who get to you aren't strategists. They're just used to you paying out the relative who's always gotten a rise out of you, the coworker whose tone has always ruined your morning, the friend whose silence has always made you chase. They're not even aware there's a wire. They just know that pulling it has always worked. So when it stops working, when the pull produces nothing, again and again they don't have a backup plan, because they never knew they were pulling anything. They simply lose their grip on you, without ever understanding how. You don't have to confront them. You don't have to win an argument, or cut anyone off. You just quietly stop being movable, and one by one, everyone who used to be able to move you discovers they can't, and can't say why. The man who cannot be provoked, Machiavelli understood, cannot be governed. Deny them the reaction, and you've taken the reins out of their hands for good. So let me hand you the playbook back, fast, the way you'll actually carry it. The deniable hit, the setup, the probe, the freeze out, the flex, the audience play. And under all of them, starve the play. Now turn it on your real life, because that's the only place this counts. Who lands the little jabs and laughs them off before you can answer? Who provokes you in private and plays the victim in public? Who's been escalating small disrespect for months because it's never once cost them anything? Who freezes you out until you're the one apologizing? Who keeps you forever proving yourself to them? Who only ever digs at you when there's an audience to perform for? And underneath all of it, whose hand is on the one wire every single one of them is pulling? Sit with that. Because the next time you walk back into your life, these exact moments are going to be waiting for you. Someone's going to take a shot wrapped in a joke, and you're going to make them say the part they meant. Someone's going to needle you for a reaction, and you're going to go flat and give them an empty room. Someone's going to test you with a small disrespect, and instead of a feeling, they're going to get a cost. Someone's going to go cold to make you chase, and you're going to let the silence sit there and cost them instead. Someone's going to talk down to you, and you're going to say, "Good for you," and mean nothing by it. Someone's going to dig at you in front of a crowd, and the crowd's going to watch it slide right off. And one day, the person whose play always worked on you is going to run it again, and it's going to come back empty, and you're both going to feel it. This is what you can't undo now. You've seen the wire. You know that every upset you've ever handed someone was you paying out on a hook, and you know there's only ever been one hook. And once you've seen your own reaction as the lever, the actual handle they've all been grabbing, you can feel your own hand on it. The instant someone reaches, you'll catch it. And in that half second where you catch it, you get to decide, maybe for the first time in your life, not to pay. That gap is open now, and it doesn't close. If you saw the wire even once while I was talking, write it in the comments so I know it landed. Nothing to pull. Put it where you'll read it the next time someone reaches for you. And keep watching the next video. It is important, much more than you imagine. See you there.